Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm sharing with you my diary entry for the week of March 26th through April 1st. Today is Saturday, April 1st. So, we are now done with March Mystery Madness. It was not the best March Mystery Madness for me, I will admit. I didn't get through as many things as I was hoping for. I got caught up on reading a specific book for a long period of time, which definitely slowed my momentum, I would say. But I had a majority of 4-star reads, and so I think that's pretty good. It definitely felt really good to focus my reading on mysteries during the month. It's definitely something that I've gotten away from since I stopped hosting the Book One Cozies Club, which, if you are unfamiliar, years ago, I used to host a first in a series cozy mystery book club where we would read first in a series cozy mysteries, and I would do first impressions videos on them. That was much later in my hosting of this club. I actually hosted it for over 5 years, but it never really took off. I didn't really get a lot of participation, and if there were people like reading the selections, they never chatted with me about it. And I believe I had started this before like BookTube really got on the cozy mystery train, and a lot of the bigger like cozy mystery booktubers had come onto the scene. And so yeah, once they all came onto the scene, and they have much bigger followings than me, their book clubs took off, but mine kind of stayed stagnant. So I finally decided to let it go, and I started to explore other things to read. Up until that point, I was predominantly, I would say, cozy mysteries with a side of other types of mysteries. So I enjoy a wide variety of mysteries, and to be honest, running the Book One Cozies Club kind of burnt me out on them. So it's been a long time since I've read cozy mysteries. I read one in December, but I don't remember what the last cozy mystery was I read before that. And then I don't think I've read one until this month, or this past month, March. And I actually ended my month with this read. So let me talk to you about my thoughts on that one, and then I'll let you know what I'm currently reading, and then I'll have a little blanket of reads update for you. But that's pretty much going to be it for this week. It hasn't been too eventful. I haven't really knit anything at all, but it's a slight update. But yeah. So the last book I read in March was the first book in the Seaside Cafe Mystery series by Bree Baker, and this one was called Live and Let Chai. So I listened to the entirety of this one on audiobook, borrowed from Hoopla, which is a digital platform that is available to me through my library. In this series, we follow our main character who has come back home and has opened a iced tea cafe in her home. So part of her home is used for her business, and then she lives in the other part of her home. So not only does she have on kind of tap several iced teas every day, but she also sells sandwiches and pastries and things like that. And she kind of got roadblocked by a curmudgeonly man who didn't want her to open this business in her house. He said it was going to ruin the community. And after a battle, she was given permission to do so. So she's now opened this business, and it's running. She has customers, and she's selling her items. And this guy constantly comes in. I swear he comes in every day. I think that's what it said. And he bothers her about not writing her ingredients on her menu. And she doesn't want to list her ingredients because she feels like they're family recipes, and if she lists her ingredients, they're going to be out in the world for everybody to copy and recreate on their on their own and she'll lose business. So she doesn't want to do that. But this guy, he lost his battle to get her to not open the business in her house. So he now is trying to find another way to inconvenience her, if not shut down her business. And so he's like, yeah, I've got ties with the mayor. And if you don't, acquiesce to my request, then, we're going to have another fight on our hands type of thing. And so she gives him free tea and sends him on his way every time he comes in, until one day he's found dead with her iced tea close by, and it is suspected that he has been poisoned by her iced tea. So she immediately becomes the first suspect. Not only that, the new detective in town makes a snide comment about the fact that she is the first suspect out in the open. And not only that, he basically states to everybody that's there that she poisoned him. Her iced tea poisoned this guy. And so now her business has been slandered, and she definitely loses customers because nobody arrives at her shop anymore to get iced tea. And so now she needs to find a way to not only clear her name, but her products. And it's also affecting her aunt's business, who also have a business in town. And so she decides to, become an amateur sleuth. At the beginning of this book, I actually didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I ended up enjoying it, because our main character did a couple stupid things that I just was like, what are you doing? Like, use your head, For me, because I've read a lot of cozy mysteries, I specifically look for a couple of things in my amateur sleuths. One of those things being that they go about investigating smartly. They use their brain. They don't make it obvious when they're inquiring for information that that's actually what they're doing. They find a suave way to interweave their questions into normal everyday conversation. The other thing that I really look for is kind of the use of common sense, I guess you would say. That, if they are, let's say, attacked when they are looking at a piece of potential evidence, they report it. Kind of things like that. And that example actually comes directly out of this book. But those two things are pretty big for me. Like, the amateur sleuth definitely needs to use their head, be smart and suave about their line of questioning and not making it obvious that that's what they're doing is a big one for me. And at the beginning of this book, our main character, though she's not really super obvious, she doesn't really use her brain. There's, like I said, a section in this book where she sees something that could potentially be a piece of evidence, and she's attacked while looking at it to the point where she's knocked out. And when she awakens, that piece of evidence or potential evidence is gone. And she doesn't report the fact that she was attacked. She doesn't report that, this piece of potential evidence was there. She just lets it go. And it's like, what are you thinking? Like, one, that piece of evidence could have cleared you. Two, you were attacked by maybe the suspect. Don't you think that, you should give this lead to the police officers? Like, no, I didn't like that at all. And, I get that she was really focused on her business and trying to gain back customers, but I think that the way she went about it was a little strange. Like, I don't know. I can't really tell you without going into specific examples. But I just feel like it was strange how she tried to go about regaining business outside of also trying to clear her name with the police and everything like that. I will say that as the book continued, my feelings on that definitely went by the wayside because she definitely got more suave. She stopped being so, like, I would say annoying. I was getting really annoyed with what she was doing, and it definitely seemed like she was investigating smarter. So that definitely helped. Of course, this is a cozy mystery, so there are some common tropes that you see in cozy mysteries, and those were definitely present here. But I fully expected things like that because, like I said, cozy mysteries tend to have certain tropes, and this one definitely didn't have the one that I hate, which was nice. That's not to say that it won't come up later, which it might. But as far as this installment goes, it didn't. And I actually really enjoyed it by the end. I will say that the descriptions of the iced teas were definitely delicious sounding. There are recipes at the end of this book, so that was great as well. I always like a cozy mystery with recipes at the end. And there's a part of her, our main character's family background, that is kind of similar to the family background of the characters in the movie Practical Magic. Now, I know there is a book, Practical Magic, but I haven't read it. So I'm only familiar with the movie. And her family background definitely has that feel. There were similarities with the kind of like romance aspect of her previous family members that were similar to Practical Magic. So I did appreciate that as well. And so all in all, I enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to continuing with it, and I gave it 4 stars. So it's a great way for me to end March Mystery Madness, not only getting back to my roots with cozy mysteries, but having an enjoyable cozy mystery read after, having a break and not reading cozy mysteries for a while. And yeah, having an enjoyable last read of the month. So I really, really feel good about where I ended the month. Now, I do have one book that I'm carrying over, so I'm not able to start my Aurelian Magical Readathon reads yet, but I am almost in the middle of Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy. This is the second book in the Gallagher Girls series by Ali Carter. So in this one, it immediately follows the events of the first book, where we have our main character who actually attends an all-girls academy. It is called the Gallagher Academy for Exceptional Young Women. And this academy is more than just a school. They teach these girls to be spies. And so our main character is actually the daughter of the headmistress of this academy. And so we follow her in the first book, learning abilities and going out on a mission. And this book follows the events of the outcome of that mission into their next semester. And they're actually learning more things. And there's a little bit of a twist here where a visiting school has joined them for the term. And so at the beginning of this book, I had a really hard time getting into it because it's been years since I read the first Gallagher Girls book. And because this one kind of drops you in right after the events of that one, I had a hard time getting into it and connecting back with our characters. But right now, where I'm at, I'm having a much better time. It's more entertaining. There are definitely some things that are happening that are interesting. I'm not sure what the purpose of what's going on is yet. And so yeah, this is a pretty easy read. I mean, if I actually focus on reading it, it goes by really quick. The chapters are pretty short. But I just haven't really been in a reading mood lately. I haven't really been in an anything type mood. I haven't really knit, like I said. There were nights where I just skipped on reading this. I got to bed and I would think about picking up the book and I just wouldn't. So obviously this is not what's calling to me at the moment. I think in total there have been 3 nights already where I was just like, okay, I'm going to get in bed. And normally when I get in bed, I reach for my book immediately. I read for about a half an hour and then I go to bed. But this is the first time in a long time where I have not read before bed at all. And I think for 3 nights, I haven't read this one. Like, I didn't read this at all last night. I did read it the night before, but I didn't read it the night before that. And when I first started this book, I read like 1 page, and let me just show you what the 1 page looks like. It's not even a full page. It's like half a page, and fell asleep. And then the night after that, I read the next page, which is like nothing. So there's something wrong. It's either I'm just not into this book right now and I should just start something else, or I'm just like, there's something else going on. I mean, I don't feel particularly stressed or anything like that. I mean, we are traveling at the end of the month, but I've never like not read before bed in a very long time. So I don't know what it is. Maybe this is just too young for me right now. I don't think so. I mean, I read a lot of middle grade. I wouldn't say like a lot. Like, I read it. I mean, I just read Percy Jackson last year. So I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see how this goes. I may put this on the side, but we'll see. It reads fast though, so it shouldn't take me too much longer. I do have a heavy plate for April though. Heavy. If you've watched my TBR video, which I'll link down in the description box below if you haven't, I've got some thick books there. And I'm traveling at the end of the month. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. It's not that I'm not enjoying this book. I am. It's just not compelling enough, I guess, for me to pick it up. So that's where I am with that. And like I said, there's not much else to show you on my blanket of reads. So this is where I am right now. So I'm on my 3rd row. And so this is where I was the last time I talked to you, and I just started the next one. So I believe this is Sasaki and Miyano from February, which I'm closing in on the end of my February reads. I just need to work on this. But there are times where I'm just like, maybe I should pick up something else instead of work on this. But at the same time, I know if I don't work on this, I'm just going to get even more behind. Because right now I'm like a month behind. So yeah, I knew this was gonna happen though. Like, I don't want this to make me feel stressed. I just want this to be a leisurely project, and you know, if it takes however long it takes, it takes however long it takes. But I'm kind of making myself feel pressured, and I don't want to. So I don't know what to do. But yeah, I only did that much. My daughter and I have been playing Genshin Impact together. We've been enjoying that. We enjoy doing that when my mom's like working at night and it's just us. And so, yeah, we've been playing a lot, going on the missions together. She's helping me out with a couple of my missions where I'm having a hard time. But I've just been enjoying exploring the land. For me, a lot of that video game play is enjoying the exploration of the land and listening to the musical soundtracks and things like that. I don't especially enjoy the battle aspect of it, but I'm enjoying the stories that are being presented. And so I guess, you know, that's kind of taking the place of my reading, because I am being told stories through the game. There's a lot of story quests that I've been doing lately. But, yeah. I wouldn't say it's taking up any more time than it has since I started playing. But yeah, I don't know. You know, when you have more than one hobby, though, there's never enough time for any of them. Um, you either focus on one and you neglect the others. I've never ever had the ability to balance the multiple hobbies that I have. And video gaming, while it has always been something that I've enjoyed doing, like I'll play like Disney Emoji Blitz, or I was playing Gems of War for a while. Um, I always, make time to play those, but I always have one like main hobby. So sometimes it's books, like reading is my main hobby. Other times knitting is my main hobby and I don't read as much as I knit. And now with me playing more video games, now I have a third one where it's like, okay, this particular hobby is taking up a majority of my time. And this just kind of how life goes, but I kind of feel guilty that I'm not reading as much and I'm not knitting as much. I mean, there are definitely things that I want as far as knitting. Like, there are items that I want to make for myself. But knitting is not what's bringing me joy at the moment. It's spending time playing with my daughter. So, and I know that I shouldn't feel guilty about that because I should enjoy the time that I am playing with my daughter right now because she's still wanting to spend time with me in some way, shape, or form. And not a lot of parents have that, when their kids are adults. And so, yeah, I'm just enjoying the time that I can spend with her when I can, I guess is what I'm saying. Because she doesn't knit. She definitely doesn't knit. She used to draw a lot, and that's not something that I have any ability in at all. It's not something that I ever enjoyed doing either. But I enjoyed seeing what she made. I enjoyed seeing her abilities progress and her art style change. But she also seems to have veered away from that hobby as well. And now she's much more into video games now than she was before also. Now, she's always kind of been into video games. And I guess, that's partially my fault. I mean, I supplied her growing up with a video game system because that's something that I had when I was younger. So it's something that I could share with her. And my brother is really big into video games also. So like when we would go visit him when we were in Hawaii, they'd play together. And so it's just kind of something that she can like talk to her uncle about. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'm just having one of those times in my life where a different hobby is taking up more of my time than any of the other ones. I would say I probably, right now, gaming and reading are my two main ones. And knitting has fallen by the wayside a little bit. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just, I don't do it. So, yeah, I need to be better about that. But at the same time, this year has just not been what I was hoping for. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to, I guess, just be happy with what I'm doing. I guess. I will say that I did get my taxes into my accountant this week. So that's great. That's on track. I signed all the documents. I just need to go and pay them for their services and then they will file my taxes. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on how to do it because they've changed some things at their office and the way they do things. So I need to see how to make my payment to them, but that is on its way. This is the latest I've ever gotten my taxes submitted. So if that tells you anything about how this year went, but it's on track. So I still have to sign up for one class for my job, but I think I'll wait to do that until I get back because I don't need to have my class taken until the end of July. I need to get it done before the end of July. So I still have plenty of time. And yeah, Right now, the trip that we'll be taking at the end of the month is kind of consuming my brain. I think I've told you before, I have flight anxiety, and so it's already started to kick in. And why? Every time I am planning on getting on an airplane, do I see in the TV shows that I watch airplane disasters, like planes crashing. And there was something on 9/11 on Hulu with the airplanes. And one of the TV shows that I was watching, Quantum Leap, had something with an airplane that was going to go down. And I was just like, no, 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 no. I suppose at this point in time, if I don't see something like that when I'm planning on getting on an airplane, that's probably a bad sign. But it just makes me feel more anxious about getting on an airplane. And I didn't think I'd be getting on an airplane as soon as I am, since, we traveled last year. But, being that this was something that my uncle wanted to do and he's not getting any younger, is kind of a time-sensitive thing. And so I'm trying not to think about it too much. But it is starting to creep up on me. We're trying to do a lot of pre-planning on things that we might want to do, where we're going and places we'd like to eat and things like that. So it's kind of fun. It's been kind of fun. But yeah, time is ticking away. And so, yeah. So that's pretty much everything I've got for you this week. Let me know down in the comments below how you ended out your March. Did you have some really great reads? If so, let me know what they were down in the comments below. If not, I'd really love to know what your worst read of the month was. I always find that interesting. But yeah, if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a flower emoji, because I just flipped my calendar to April and there's some flowers on it. I did pick up a calendar for myself when I was in Hawaii last year. So yeah, if you could leave me a flower emoji if you've got nothing else to chat with me about, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.